Well, hard justice is in the rearview mirror, and we now have a new casualty of Jarrettgate, Don West. He got promoted in the merchandising department, and Taz will be replacing him on the announce team. Now, I'm sure this change will make some people happy. It's just a shame that this had to happen after Don West had become so entertaining with his new heel persona. And personally, even as a babyface, I never really had a problem with Don West. Mike TNA is the guy they need to replace. Alright, TNA is the one who never shuts up. TNA is the one who talks over almost every promo. TNA is the one who can't act to save his life. I say take Mike TNA out of there, make him a segment producer or something like that backstage, and give JB a shot in the announce booth. But anyway, Don West is out, Taz is in. Jeff Jarrett was a big proponent of Don West, so this is just the latest example of how Jeff Jarrett's backstage power continues to diminish, which I think most of us are pretty happy about. They still need to get somebody in the writer's room to rein in Vince Russo. Hopefully that will come next. Anyway, I thought Taz did a pretty good job in his first night. He was a little shaky at the beginning there, but he pulled it together in the second hour. He was prepared, he knew the storylines, he knew the wrestlers' names. So I think Taz will do a good job. You know, I will definitely miss the heel Don West, but I'm not unhappy about this. As for the show itself, something that really caught my attention was this thing that they did where the referees are being given more officiating power, which basically amounted to them ejecting a bunch of people from ringside before the matches started. I thought referees already had the power to do that, but whatever. I don't know what they have in mind for this, but at first glance, it seems like it's being done in an effort to minimize outside interference and give us more clean match finishes. And if that is the purpose of this, then all I can say to that is thank you, good freaking God, thank you. I miss clean finishes. It's really nice to have those back. Now, I can't talk about this show without mentioning the Sting AJ Styles in-ring confrontation. Now, AJ comes out, cuts what was easily the best promo of his entire career, saying that he failed, he let everyone down, he's walking away from pro wrestling. And then Sting comes out, cuts another awesome promo, saying, AJ, this whole time that I was talking about bringing honor and dignity and respect back into this business, I was talking about you. You're the man. You're the guy that I want to carry the torch after I'm gone. You can't walk away now. So Sting convinces AJ to change his mind. And this was one of the best segments in Impact history, hands down. I mean, AJ Styles has never really been that great on the mic, but I don't know what happened to this guy because he cut the promo of his life here. I mean, everything, his delivery, his facial expressions, the way he was tearing up as he was saying goodbye, it was beautiful. It's like we're always saying on here, raw emotion is what sells, and that's what AJ showed. And I'd say this segment was about damn near perfect. I mean, even the little things like Sting coming out in regular clothes without his music, that was exactly the right way to do it. And then Sting doing the passing of a torch thing, finally, which came out of those seeds that they planted with Sting and AJ like a year ago. Awesome! I can't say enough about this segment. If you missed it, I think they put it on the YouTube page. Please go and check it out. As for Sting, you know, as you guys know, I've been very critical of Sting for the last several months. You know, he'd obviously diminished in the ring. I didn't think he should be in a top spot anymore. He wasn't helping to create any new stars. And all that pissed me off, I'll admit that. But, you know, Sting has been doing the right thing for business recently. You know, and he made AJ look like $1 million here. I mean, for Sting to say that this is the guy that I want to take my place when I hang up my boots, that's the kind of stuff I wanted from Sting this whole time. That's the kind of stuff I want from Triple H. That's the kind of stuff I want from The Undertaker. That's the kind of stuff I want from Nash and Steiner and Booker T. And I knew that Sting didn't have a problem with giving the rub to the younger guys, but he hadn't been doing that. And that's what made me so angry. And I don't know, maybe that was because of the writing more than the man. But, you know, Sting did the right thing here, and I'll applaud him for that, and I'll respect him for that. So that was the big highlight of the show, but honestly, I mean, this was a good Impact all around. That makes 3 in a row, TNA. Nice job. Once again, not that much time devoted to the main event Mafia, and that seems to have been the trend since Jeff Jarrett took his ball and went home. You know, we've had a lot more focus on the young talent since then. And look, what do you know? They did a 1.2. That's comparable to what Impact has been drawing when the Mafia guys were the focus. You know, except for Kurt Angle, they were all just in the opening segment and didn't really do anything. Otherwise, the show was devoted to the young guys, and for the most part, I was pretty happy with what I saw. You know, I still have the same criticisms. There's too many damn gimmick matches. Alright, TNA, can you at least limit yourselves to one gimmick match per week, please? There's no reason to have a street fight and a tables match in the same show. Also, if you're going to treat us to Samoa Joe versus Homicide for the X Division title, can you please give that match more than 4 minutes and change? But that's the same old song and dance. We've been over that I don't know how many times. Also, the Matt Morgan thing confused me. It seemed like he was getting ready to swerve Kurt Angle after that opening segment, but then they just made him look like a chump in the main event. So I don't know what's going on there. But otherwise, I was pretty happy with the way the show went. I love that Motor City Machine Guns infomercial thing. That was some funny shit. That thing made me laugh more than anything I've seen in WWE in a long time. Because, I mean, with WWE, it's like they try so damn hard to be quote-unquote entertainment that they just take it way too far and they end up embarrassing themselves. Like with the Hornswoggle stuff, and a lot of the Santino bits are getting to be that way now. I mean, Santino Marella is a funny guy. But when you have him confront Freddie Prinze Jr. dressed up like the Killer from I Know What You Did Last Summer, I mean, a movie that this guy made like 12 years ago, you're just going way, way over the top. But here, I mean, TNA took Sabin and Shelley, two witty, entertaining performers, put them in front of a camera, gave them some good lines to say that weren't stupid or cartoonish or anything, and it made me laugh. And hopefully this will lead to a push for those guys because, god damn it, I want the Motor City Machine Guns to win the TNA Tag Team titles at Bound for Glory. Something else I appreciated. ODB and Cody Deaner were relegated to one backstage segment this week after that absolute abortion that was made of the Knockouts title situation at the pay-per-view. Instead, all the focus was on this Knockout Tag Team tournament thing that they're doing, and that should tell you all you need to know. I mean, think about it. Pretty much since lockdown, ODB's been doing nothing. I mean, she'd barely been on TV except for when she was managing Deaner when he lost every single match that he had, and then she worked a bunch of web matches, and that's it. And then all of a sudden, from out of nowhere, she gets back on TV, wins the title, and then goes right back to doing web matches? At this point, I think it's a pretty safe bet that the writers only gave the Knockouts title to ODB in the first place so Tracy could take it from her, probably at no surrender. And I stand by what I said before about Tracy. I don't think she's championship material. But if it means getting the title away from ODB as soon as possible after the BS way that they put it on her at Hard Justice, then I'm on board with this. I mean, anything that stops that title from being a comedy prop that it is right now is cool with me. And even though she's not the best wrestler they have, at least Tracy would carry that belt with a little bit of class. And speaking of the women, the last thing I'm going to talk about tonight is this announcement that TNA is creating women's tag team titles for the Knockouts division. Now, this does make sense in theory, what with TNA being the company where tag team wrestling is alive and well, you know, as they've drilled into us many times over the last year. And if Dixie Carter wants to continue to push the envelope with the women, then this would be the next logical step, I guess. I'm a proponent of the Knockouts division. I'm a fan of women's wrestling. You guys know that. To be totally honest, I am against this. I'm opposed to it. I think it's a bad idea. For a lot of reasons that I really just don't have the time to get into in this video. But I wrote a column about this. I already submitted it actually, so check TNAWrestlingNews.com for that. I don't have control over when these things get posted, but it should show up on the main page sometime in the next few days. That'll explain my whole position on this in detail. It went on for like 5 pages, so watch out for that. I'll probably talk about this more in the next video if I have time, but for now I'm going to wrap this up, and I'll talk to you guys next week.